So tell me about you and what you're doing at the moment.
Okay, so I'm in my last year of college. I'm doing a level 3 in aeronautical engineering. So this is my second and final year. After this, I'll hopefully be going to uni to carry on with what I've chosen to do, which is air aircraft engineering.
What sort of qualifications will you need at college to get into uni for that?
So for what I've chosen, I have to have a level 3, which is what I'm currently doing. GCSEs like maths and English. That's it really, just those two, I guess.
Okay. So when you were little, is this something that you wanted to always do?
When I was little, I was more interested in like architecture and designing, but I was into STEM, and then over time I became more interested in engineering and aircraft and aviation, that sort of thing. But I've always been into STEM and that kind of field.
Yeah. Okay. And was that in school? Did they push forward with that STEM agenda with you at primary school or secondary school?
It was more kind of secondary school, but it wasn't like they just pushed like just whatever you loved, like because I was quite good at DT. I liked that and I was like quite good at it. And then from there, I was like, okay, maybe I should do this. And school kind of pushed me to like, yeah, you can do it. Just do what you like.
Yeah, it's really good that you encouraged to do that at school. And when you were at school and learning this, did you know what classes that you need to do to get the good grades, or were you all really good at like maths and things like that anyway?
Yeah, maths has always been one of my greatest subjects, maths, physics, those kind of mathematical problem solving type of subjects I was always
Yeah.
really into and good at.
Yeah, brilliant. I was good at math, but rubbish at physics. It's not something I could have done. So when you were little, did you like to design things at home? Is that something that you did? Did you do a lot of drawing?
Yeah, for me, because I used to like architecture quite a bit. So for me, I'd be like designing houses, or I'd like do some sketches about like, interior design and stuff like that. And then yeah, just that sort of thing.
Okay, so did you have, when you were little, was there anything that you wanted to be? So if you go back to primary school, and you know when you're little, people go, what do you want to be when you grow up? What did you think then?
When I was younger, I actually wanted to be a teacher because I liked the idea of like helping people and really talking to people. And then from there, I wasn't sure because I was like, okay, I like architecture, I like maths. This is my kind of thing. I like designing, but how do I get into this if I want to do teaching? So I was in two minds.
Yeah. And then what made you change to do what you were doing? Was that the study that you were doing at school,
I think
the
it was
technical?
more I got used to maths and physics, and from there I was like, okay, I like this. And I started getting into aircraft and aviation a lot more. And then from there I was like, okay, maybe I can do this instead. This seems like a good thing to do. And then from there I was like, okay, this is really interesting after like a lot of research. And then I found, you know what, this might be interesting to go into, and then from there I just did it.
Yeah. And what research did you do to go into it?
What I'd be doing, what sort of career I could get from the skills that you could get from joining engineering and aerospace.
Okay, so you decided this is the career that you were interested in, and then did you work back to go, I'm really good at maths, really good at physics, and these are the grades that I need to work towards?
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so what were your grades like? Were you like a really A student or
Well, when it came to maths and these sort of STEM subjects, I was quite good. When it came to marks, I'd get about above grade sevens. And then when time came for exams, I got a bit lower, but we got there.
the
Yeah,
pressure of
so
exams?
grades helped me quite a bit because I felt like quite ahead, like, okay, I understand this. It would be easier for me to get into this.
Yeah, great. And did you have any role models that you sort of aspired to be like when you were younger or within this industry?
Not necessarily. It was more just like a interest. But for me, I surrounded myself with friends who like were into like STEM and engineering and these type of fields. So from there, I was like, okay, you can do this, I can do this. this is fun.
Yeah, good. And those friends, was that a mix of boys and girls?
Not really, just one girl.
Just one girl,
Yeah.
okay. And how does that make you feel? Because this is the whole point of what we're trying to describe to young girls is that there aren't a lot of girls and women going into engineering, but it is a career choice. So what would you say about it being more male dominated or boy dominated environment?
I'd definitely be like, just do what you're doing, do what you love. Ignore the fact that it's just, you might be alone. Sometimes that's like the best thing for you because it really helps you stand out. It's more empowering. It's more like, oh, okay, I can do this. They can do it. Why can't I? Like it really pushes you to want to do your best. So just keep going and don't let anything bring you down.
Brilliant. That's a really good statement. And empowering is such a strong word. And I think you can stand out from the crowd as well then if you're like a
Yeah.
girl with really good grades and you're doing this moving forward. And where do you think this career will take you in engineering? So what university do you think you'll be going to? Have you applied for universities yet?
Yeah, I've accepted. Well, I'm staying within my college. They've got a university center, so I'll be staying with them and doing my degree. So hopefully I can get into aircraft maintenance, which is what I want to do. But I guess the ultimate goal for me is really inspiring other, not only women, but people from different backgrounds, like ethnicities, to be like, yeah, if you can do this if you want. Because for me, it was growing up as a girl, ethnic girl wanting to do this type of thing, it was very like, oh, okay, this is different. So it's for me, it's like, oh, okay, I want to be that role model for other people so they can be like, oh, she did it, I can do it as well.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a really good answer. And is it like commercial aircrafts that you would be doing, or is it more military aircrafts, or is it open at this stage?
At this stage, it's open, but I think the ultimate goal has always been like commercial. But I'm open to anything really.
Yeah, you're keeping your options open.
Yeah.
So to get your grades at school, did you have to spend a lot of time studying?
Yeah, I did. I spent quite a lot of I was always like I was very academic, so I'd always spend my time doing like, especially with maths. Maths and sciences were my kind of thing, so I was like, okay, I'd always put that first and then do all my other subjects. But yeah, that was my kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. I was, like I said earlier, good at maths, rubbish at physics, but good at the other sciences. But did you like, I know you like drawing, did you like making things and putting things together?
Kind of. I was more into drawing, but I did like doing like building and putting stuff together kind of thing.
Yeah, like IKEA sets,
Yeah.
building furniture,
Yeah. Yeah.
finding the little screws and where they go.
I'd always be like, okay, let me do this. This is my thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build it.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, that's it. I definitely don't do that. I'd get frustrated, don't have the patience for it. Is there any big companies that you'd be interested in working for within that aircraft maintenance
Yeah,
arena?
for me it'd probably be like airlines like British Airways and Ryanair, these type of airlines. But I don't know, for me it's more like just getting into the field. Even if it is an aircraft maintenance, I'd love to do that, but I'd be open to anything in aviation because I just like aviation.
Yeah.
So anything to do with that, but mainly airlines, I guess, or like manufacturers like Rolls-Royce or
Yeah.
General Electric.
Yeah, those are the big players. I used to supply a company in Yorkshire, and they're called Produmax, and they make the component parts that go into the Boeing aircrafts.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's amazing like how big the arena is. It's like you could go to the big players, but there's a lot of smaller companies
Yeah.
that build what they do to go into the actual
Yeah, there's
aircrafts
a
as
lot that
well.
goes into it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that opens it up. And we're also dealing with a furniture company that makes springs, and they want to move into the aviation market where they want to put the springs into the seats. So there's
Okay.
so many different avenues you can go into rather than
Yeah.
just that one. But I think the fact that you're doing well at school, this is direction of travel, you know what you want, you're involved in STEM, you're giving yourself a lot of options if you do well academically. You're at college at the moment and then going to uni, and then from there on you'll be able to progress that. So when you go to uni, will there be a gap year? Will you be able to do any work experience with any of these companies?
I think within the time that I'm doing my degree, I can hopefully get some work experience. I'm not too sure, but I did want to do a gap year. after this college year was over, but then I just decided just get into it, just, get straight into it.
Yeah, get into it and do it. And do you work alongside studying, or is it just you're completely focused in getting your grades?
More so on my grades, but I do within my college I participate in student enrichment. So I represent my campus, and along with that I've done fundraisers for with the college, like for other things like charities and stuff. But I mainly focus on my studies.
Yeah, yeah, because you want to get your good grades, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and have all that time to do lots of studying, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you been involved through the college with STEM itself? Because they obviously have road shows that people can go to and find out more information about STEM. Is that something you've been involved in?
We've had like workshops and stuff. So with that, I've gotten involved and spoken to like people from British Airways, RAF, quite a bunch of places. With the college, they really help you try and get out there and speak to people.
Your family have been very supportive and your friends are supportive
Yeah,
in what you
definitely.
want to do. And do you feel like because you get good grades, you get a good choice of going to a good secondary school and a good college? Do you think that's helped you progress what you want to do?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think with the grades, it was definitely with the support of school. So with the grades, that helps you get like further with your education. So that is a big factor. Like, okay, if you get the grades, you can pretty much do anything you want.
Gives you choices. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. So, and then you sort of answered this a little bit earlier. What advice would you give somebody like, so we've got two different sort of categories of people. We've got young girls, 7 and 9. What advice would you give to them at this stage that they would need to do if they wanted to continue to go into an engineering college or university? What advice would you give a little girl to mirror what you've been doing?
For them, I'd say just make sure you don't let anyone's voice interfere with yours. If you want to do what you want to do it. Just make sure that you're happy. It's something that you're happy doing, and that you know that okay, yeah, this is actually quite fun. I want to do this, and just don't let anyone's voice just interfere with yours, basically.
Brilliant. It's really good advice. And then if somebody's a little bit older and they're in secondary school, what would you say to them? Because they need to make choices on GCSEs, etc. What would you say to them?
I'd say I'd feel like for them, you don't want to push them into doing something and then them being like, oh, okay, I don't really want to do this. Because at that point, you're like, oh, okay, I have to decide this. So I say keep an open mind, but if you're sure you want to do it, then stick to it and make sure you work hard towards your goals and just set goals and be like, okay, I need to do this. I need to get here. How do I get there? Just take it one step at a time and just make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, brilliant. So putting in the hard work, know what you want
Yeah.
to do, be passionate about it, and then that will come to the means to the end to do what you want to do and give you choices. Okay, brilliant. Is there anything else you want to add to this whole platform of where we're going to encourage girls can engineer? Is there anything else you want to add to this?
Just that, make sure that you support yourself because at the end of the day, the first person that's going to be there for you is you. So you need to put that effort in for yourself and then be like, okay, let me do this and that. So just really make sure you support yourself more than anything.
Brilliant. That's really good advice. So just summarize it, empower yourself, do what you like that's passionate, work hard and give yourself choices. And
Yeah.
don't listen to external voices that are trying to dissuade you from doing what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I think that's more or less all the questions I've got because you answered lots of them really brilliantly. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we can encourage some girls to come into the engineering, but only when you've got your jobs and your career sorted. We don't want too much competition just for you at this stage, boys or girls.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Speak
you.
to you soon. Best of luck with your exams.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.